Hey everyone, Jagoat here again for part 3 of my Let's Play Back to the Future the game. And we have arrived in 1931 as Marty McFly, and we're trying to save Doc Brown, who's stuck in the past. He's been accused of setting fire to an illegal speakeasy and been arrested by the police. But according to the newspaper that we read in the future, he's going to get cleared of all charges tomorrow. But unfortunately the illegal mobsters who operated the speakeasy won't agree with that, and they will shoot him down tomorrow. So we have to save Doc Brown from this horrible future and see what we can do. So I guess he's been held at the police station, so let's go there first and see if we can get him out. Oh, this is the speakeasy actually.
I guess this is where the speakeasy burned down. How'd Doc ever get mixed up in that?
So if I remember correctly, the police station should be here somewhere. There's a soup kitchen. Police station. Okay, let's go have a look.
Who are you and what do you want?
Can I talk to, Carl Sagan?
Are you his lawyer?
No.
Then scram!
Carl Sagan was obviously the pseudonym that Doc used.
Doc!
There he is.
Marty!
Doc!
What are you doing here?
You sent for me, Doc.
I did? When?
May 14th, 1986.
1980? The automatic retrieval system. Of course. I'd almost forgotten about that.
So what's our plan for getting you out of here?
Plan? We don't need a plan.
We don't.
Not in the slightest. The police picked me up for that speakeasy fire a couple of weeks ago, but the DA hasn't got a case. They're releasing me tomorrow morning.
So basically, I traveled 50 years into the past to deliver your car?
Sorry about that, but it's so wonderful to see you. We have a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, you might want to hold off on that, Doc.
Great Scott! I'm going to be gunned down by gangsters on the steps of the courthouse.
Why would they do that?
Guess they didn't approve of my burning down their speakeasy.
Very funny, Doc. Maybe now we should come up with a plan.
A plan, right. But what?
Well, that's a good question.
Why don't we tell the authorities?
Tell them what? That my friend from the future has proof that I'll be murdered tomorrow? They'd ship us both off to the loony bin. And trust me, you don't want to see the inside of a 1931 insane asylum.
Yeah, see, this is why I said not to go back just a day before.
Why don't I take the DeLorean, go back in time before you were arrested, and stop you from getting caught in the first place?
Don't even think about it. Without my unjust incarceration, the events that sent you into the past might never happen, resulting in a paradox of continuum-shattering proportions.
Jeez, we've been back together for 5 minutes, Doc, and you're already talking about the end of the universe. I've missed that.
Don't be ridiculous, Marty. I was only referring to the end of the universe as we know it.
No, that's okay then.
Well, I suppose I could just get some dynamite and break you out of jail.
No, that's far too dangerous. Not just to me, but to random innocent people in the past. The repercussions could be... That's it!
What's it?
My rocket-powered drill.
You have a rocket-powered drill?
Not yet. I haven't built it yet.
You've lost me, Doc.
Listen, a few months ago, my 17-year-old self sent in a patent application for a rocket-powered drill. I abandoned the project after I never heard back from the patent office, but the prototype should be nearly complete.
Great, I'll just run back to your lab
No, I said nearly complete. You'll need me to help you finish it.
How the hell am I supposed to sneak a half-finished rocket-powered drill into your cell?
Not me. 1931 me.
Wait a minute, Doc. You want me to convince your 1931 self to build a rocket-powered drill to break you out of jail?
Precisely.
Okay.
Won't talking to yourself cause, irreparable damage to the space-time continuum or something?
It should be fine. I've already invented the idea of the rocket drill. You've just got to goad my younger self into finishing the prototype.
How am I supposed to convince your younger self to finish the rocket drill? Just tell him I need to break his older self out of jail?
Absolutely not. Whatever you do, you can't tell my younger self anything about time travel. I won't come up with the inspiration for the flux capacitor for another 24 years.
Then what am I supposed to...
Just be your charming self. From what I remember, I'm a pretty easygoing kid, so enlisting me in a scientific adventure should be a piece of cake.
Okay, let's say I go along with this crazy idea. Where can I find you? I mean, the other you.
How should I know? It was over 50 years ago. Why don't you go over to the soup kitchen next door and give my house a call? They'll know where to find me.
Soup kitchen. Got it.
Just stay away from the soup. It'll cause irreparable damage to your digestive system.
I guess I better get started. Don't worry, Doc. I'll get you out of here in no time.
I'm not worried. Once you and my younger self put your heads together, you'll be unstoppable.
Okay, to the soup kitchen then, I guess. Under new management.
McFly!
Biff? Kid! Grandpa?
That's Mr. Tannen to you, Artie. What are you doing out here?
Well, I was getting kind of hungry, so I figured I'd come down here for some free soup.
Just thought I'd come down for some soup. Think, McFly. The DA's throwing around subpoenas like Babe Ruth.
I don't think Ruth's a pitcher anymore.
Shut it. If one of those subpoenas landed in the hands of my number cruncher, I'd be in a whole lot of trouble. I could even get sent up the river. You wouldn't want that, would you? Would you?
No, of course not, kid.
All right. That's better. What are you looking at, punk?
Keep your eyes on the soup, kid.
Well?
Well, what?
What are you still doing here?
Sorry, kid. I'll just run back to the safe house.
You do that. And McFly,
Yes?
that hat's too flashy. You better let me hold on to it. Now scram!
You got it, boss.
And don't come out until I give you the all clear. I swear, if even one of you mooks could add 2 + 2 without your fingers, I'd dump that wimp into the lake. Hey! Anyway, I'm off to make myself irresistible. Don't let anyone burn down the shop while I'm gone.
Very inconspicuous. So I guess Grandpa McFly is the accountant for the mobsters. Interesting. Anyway, telephone.
Brown residence?
Hi. Do you know where I could find Emmett Brown?
Young Master Brown is currently tending to his clerking duties at the courthouse. Who may I say is calling?
The courthouse? Doc never told me he worked at the courthouse.
Okay, off to the courthouse. This is a very inconspicuous soup kitchen. Courthouse, the other side of the square. Huh, tiny. Oh.
Don't touch those! These are very sensitive legal documents. Nobody is supposed to handle them but sworn officers of the court. Judge Brown says so.
Judge Brown.
Judge Brown? Doc. Nice to meet you. I'm Michael, Corleone.
Emmett Brown. But I am a law clerk, not a doctor. Now please get out of my way. I have important business to transact.
Law clerk.
H2 of A multiplied by the inversion of H has to come out less than expectation value of A, right? No. What am I missing?
Listen, Emmett, you don't know me, but I'm your friend.
I'm not big on friends. They get in the way of work.
What's this important business you're up to?
It's a legal matter. Very complicated, very abstruse. I need to obtain 5 sets of initials on every copy of this writ of indemnification before before Judge Brown can even think of granting a waiver to the party in the first part.
You have no idea what it's about, do you?
That's how important it is.
Does sound very complicated.
Come on, Doc. Emmett, drop the Legal Eagle Act. I got something more important for you to do.
Mr. Corleone, I'll have you know that the law is the very mortar that holds society together, and we in the legal profession are like brick masons building the edifice of the future.
Your dad tell you that?
Every morning.
Poor guy.
Listen, I understand you're working on a new invention in your lab.
Invention? You must have me mixed up with somebody else. I'm in law. I have absolutely no interest in science. Friction remains constant and the gravitational constant is variable. Wait,
Well,
is
that was a
possible?
bust. Easygoing guy.
Force equals mass times acceleration, of course.
Come on, wait up a minute.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Okay, so you don't want your old man to know. That's fine. Listen, we all keep secrets. But I'm telling you, you can level with me about this science project of yours.
I am not a scientist. Go ahead, ask me what E equals.
What does E equal?
I have absolutely no idea. See? I don't know where you got your information from about me, mister, but you're wrong. Oh, it brings back to...
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
See, I'm sort of in the science business myself. That's why I sought you out.
Not that I care in the least, because science is the furthest thing from my own area of interest, which is law, but I don't believe you.
It's true. I'm a scientist.
So tell me something, Mr. Scientist, from your vast storehouse of scientific knowledge.
The leg bone's connected to the thigh bone?
Amazing.
Come on, you could trust me, Doc. Emmett, it's your future I'm looking out for, in more ways than one.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and science.
Oh, that word again! If you insinuate I'm a scientist once more, I'll sue you for defamation of character!
Well, this isn't going anywhere. Shark. Oh, I remember this.
Wow, looks like they used a real shark.
No, not spectacular. What should we do? Well, let's have a chat with the real doc. See what he can come up with. Damn, these controls are getting me a bit confused.
Psst, Doc!
Marty, have you found my younger self yet?
Yeah, he's not as easygoing as you thought he'd be.
Well, I met your younger self.
Great.
And I gotta say, you're kind of uptight.
What?
You won't even talk to me.
I find that hard to believe. Tell me what happened.
I tried asking him about your rocket drill, but he says he's not a scientist.
What? What? Oh, Father.
What's he got to do with this?
In 1931, I was still deathly afraid of my father discovering the truth about my scientific predilections, so I carefully kept them under wraps, practicing science at odd hours, away from his prying eyes.
That sucks.
It sucked a lot. Fortunately, I eventually stood up to him, but right now, my younger self probably thinks you've been sent by my father to check up on me.
What do I do to convince Teen Doc that I'm not a spy?
Teen Doc.
I'm not sure.
Why does your younger self mutter all the time?
Muttering? Why would I be muttering? I never mutter unless... The Hill Valley Expo!
The expo?
Yes, the Expo! How could I have forgotten? In a few months, the younger me will put on a demonstration at the Hill Valley Exposition, my first public foray into the world of science. Everyone in town will be there, including a number of noted inventors who shaped my career.
So, it was a big success?
No, it was a miserable failure, but it was a spectacularly miserable failure, one which marked my transition from an amateur garage scientist into a professional seeker of truth.
What does this expo have to do with you muttering all the time?
When I was younger, I used to relieve stress by working on complex mathematical conundrums. No doubt my younger self is working on some impossible problem in an attempt to work off cerebral steam in the weeks before the exposition. What was I muttering about?
I don't know, h to the something with an inverse of something else. I'm not so good at equations.
That's too bad. I bet if we could solve my younger self's problem, he'd be more inclined to listen to you.
Okay.
You know, your younger self seems really dedicated to the law.
It's a facade, I assure you. I had to keep up appearances to appease my father.
Let's talk about your younger self's problems later.
Okay, but don't forget we're on a bit of a deadline here.
Okay, so you have to solve the problem he's muttering about. Let's see. Where is he? Back at the courthouse? Oh, it's coming out there.
Will you just give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Okay, another
So, Emmett,
option.
what time are you through with work?
Depends. On weeknights, Pop sometimes keeps me in the office till 9.
9 at night? But today's Saturday.
Right. So I probably won't get off before 10.
No, poor boy.
How about you knock off work early and I'll buy you a beer, or soda. What do you say?
Don't try to tempt me from my duty with sugary beverages. Keeping the wheels of justice turning, that's my one passion in life. Besides, if I left before 8, my pop would kill me.
Sounds like you're a little scared of your father.
Scared of my father? Pop is the most learned, just, incorruptible judge that Hill Valley has ever seen. The only people scared of Judge Brown are people with a dark secret to hide. And I don't have a dark secret to hide.
Emmett, about
Don't
your...
say it. Multiplied by the inverse of A might well be equal to A's expectation value, but only if the coefficient of friction remains constant. And the
Well,
coefficient
we
constant is
do
variable.
have
Is that
that
even
tape
possible?
recorder from
Now if H
inside the car.
stands for one,
Maybe we
one
can
nine
record him muttering.
later, then naturally H2 of A multiplied by the inversion of
Hi,
A has to
dog.
come out less than. Don't think, Emmett, think.
That
H to
seems
the
to
A
work.
multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Uh-oh.
Inverse.
Hi, Emmett. Okay.
Oh, no.
Well. And if we give it to Duck, maybe he can figure it out.
Doc!
Marty! How goes the escape plan?
Yeah.
So, Doc,
Recorded
does
it.
this ring a bell?
Oh, think, Emmett, think. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A. H to the A multiplied by the inverse of A.
Good grief! Is that me? I sound so...
Young?
I was going to say intense. I forgot how wound up I used to get.
Yeah, but what are you muttering about?
Oh, that's easy. It's Ivanov's conundrum. Just tell my younger self that H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
Won't giving him the answer mess up the time stream?
Only if it turns out that reality is actually nothing more than a holographic illusion created by the interplay of subatomic particles on a vast two-dimensional membrane.
So...
Huh?
It'll be fine.
Alright, then.
We're have you been all this time? I missed you.
I've missed you too, Marty. But I thought it was important to let you live your own life for a while, free from the insanity of time travel.
I gotta admit, it was nice to not have my family history blowing up in my face for a few months.
Besides, I've been busy raising my own unpredictable teenagers.
Right. How's the family?
So how are Clara and the kids?
They're fine, fine. Right now we're trying to decide where to send Jules and Vern to college. Clara prefers the 2020s, but I'm partial to the 1960s. We're planning on visiting you and Jennifer in 2011 soon.
Me and Jennifer? In 2011?
Oh, forget I said anything.
Don't come to 2020.
How'd you wind up in jail in 1931 anyway?
During my trip to the past, I decided to look into one of Hill Valley's unsolved mysteries.
The fire at the speakeasy.
Exactly. I thought I was safely hidden across the street. But when the fire started, there was a tremendous explosion, and I was knocked unconscious by a stray brick. When I woke up, I was here in jail, charged with arson.
That's horrible.
Wow.
I know.
That's a
Worse
reach.
yet, I still don't know who started the fire.
Guess who I bumped into at the soup kitchen? My grandfather.
No!
Don't worry, I didn't talk to him or change his future or anything.
Good.
I wish I could, though. This era's tannin is treating him like dirt.
Don't worry. If history plays out as it's supposed to, he'll soon be out from under Kit Tannen's thumb and free to live out his life as a humble accountant with your grandma. What was her name again?
Sylvia.
Right, Sylvia.
I know this really isn't the right time or place, but I found your notebook.
Ah, so that's where I left it. Why'd you bring it here?
Because the bank's selling off all your stuff.
They can't do that.
That's what I keep trying to tell him.
Well, you hold on to it for safekeeping. We'll deal with my financial situation in 1986 after we save me from a grisly death in 1931.
Yeah, priorities.
What do you know about Edna Strickland?
Edna, we never really socialized when I was younger. She
Yeah,
was a few
socially.
years older than me, and we traveled in different socioeconomic circles. Why do you ask?
She thinks you're a hero for burning down that speakeasy. She's doing a story on you.
A story? Oh, yes, now I remember. Ask Edna, the etiquette column that doubled as a pro-temperance soapbox. She believed that the consumption of alcohol would inevitably lead to a complete societal breakdown.
Sounds like a fun gal.
You should have seen her when the hippies started showing up in the 60s. She just somehow lost her mind.
That would explain a lot. What's the story with this kid Tannen jerk anyway?
Biff's father? By this time next year, he'll be pulling down a life sentence in San Quentin. There was even a song about it.
Wait, if Biff will be born in 1938, and Kid will be in prison...
As I recall, he escaped from prison in 1937 for about 3 hours.
That's a busy 3 hours.
No kidding.
Okay, let's go talk to Emmett.
Hang in there, Doc.
Emmett.
Not the best choice of words, Marty.
Will
Here
you
he
just
is.
give me a chance?
Harassment's a federal crime, Mr. Corleone.
Maybe H equals the Hamiltonian operator.
What did you just say?
I said maybe H equals the...
Hamiltonian operator.
Yeah!
Great Scott! If H is a Hamiltonian, then H to the A multiplied by the inverse of H can only be the same as the expectation value for A. That's it! That's the solution to Ivanov's conundrum, the problem I've been wrestling with in my head all week!
I'm sure you would have figured it out by yourself in a day or two. The way you figured out how to build that rocket-powered drill.
Where did you learn so much about science?
Let's go with Vern.
Well, it's like this.
You know about my rocket power drill? Then there can only be one explanation.
What?
You're from the patent office. I confess I didn't quite know what to expect when I sent the paperwork, but I never expected this. Welcome! I'm at your service. What can I do for you?
Can I see your rocket-powered drill?
Of course, of course. Naturally, it's just a scale model, but it's nearly operational. I can show it to you, say, first thing in the morning?
That's not gonna work.
That's
Emmett.
no good. I need to see a full-size model. That's fully operational. Tonight. Otherwise, we'll have to award the patent to, competing inventor, Dr. McCoy.
It can't be done! I mean, it might be possible to construct a full-size working model in that time frame, but I haven't got the main ingredient for the fuel.
I'll get it for you. What is it?
190 proof grain alcohol. And you know how difficult it is to get a hold of alcohol these days.
Especially now that someone's blown up the speakeasy.
And besides, there's no way I can get off work until I've delivered this subpoena. It's part of the investigation into the business affairs of Kid Tannen. Is it vitally important you see that rocket-powered drill today?
Yes. Is it vitally important you deliver that subpoena today?
Yes!
Listen, I'll help you deliver it, and I'll see to it you get the alcohol you need. It'll help you get that drill finished by tonight. Deal?
Deal. Here's the subpoena.
I've got to subpoena my grandpa?
Shh! It's Kid Tannen!
Hey, I just saw him at the soup kitchen, yelling at Arthur McFly.
I'm not surprised. Arthur does the books for his business.
What kind of business?
That's what the DA is trying to find out.
Let's go talk to him.
No!
Why not? Kid Tannen can tell us where Arthur's hiding.
Yeah, well, he can also have us fitted for a Chicago overcoat.
That's not a good future. Okay, well, I'll end part 3 of this series here. And we'll be continuing the story in part 4. So I'll hope to see you then. Hope you enjoyed it. See you. Thanks.